of the big ones, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed that as well. So when it comes down to it, that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be playing some Final Fantasy IV, and I really hope that you guys enjoy this experience as I step back into the world. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to end the previous broadcast, and everybody should be able to raid over into the current broadcast for Final Fantasy IV. Hopefully that is the case. We ultimately will wait and see what happens with that. So welcome in, everyone, if you're coming across with the raid, and if you are new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully we're gonna have a lot of fun here today. So that's it. Cool. The previous stream has finished. I'm kind of doing this all live as we kind of go with it. Ultimately, what's going to happen next after the Final Fantasy IV, I will take a little bit of a break, and we do have the Final Fantasy 16 event that will be happening here in just a honestly, it's going to be here before we know it, but I'm hanging out in the Discord voice, and that's essentially, if you want to come hang out, I'm going to read the text and the story, because I think that's going to help me make sure that I dive into it. And what I'm looking at as a gamer is I really want to see and feel, how is this game like as an adult, right? Like this was I played this back when I was a kid. And obviously I want to see if there's any kind of themes and stuff like that change as I now step into this version of Final Fantasy. So if you're just coming over from the raid, if you're just coming over from the previous live stream for the Xbox event, be sure to hit that like button, sound off in chat, and yeah, let's go ahead and start playing, because that's what we're here to do. So new game, Final Fantasy IV, baby. Oh man, I like remember this so much. Carmack. That's what some people think. Some people think it was all Final Fantasies. I happened to beat Final Fantasy 14. Oh man, I saw, yeah, one of them were giving me rough stuff yesterday. Captain, we will arrive at Baron shortly. Very well. I'm gonna change the font as soon as I get the option. The captain seems kind of down. After what we did, who wouldn't be? Orders are orders, but killing innocent people to get the crystals isn't right. Dude. Oh my gosh, dude. This takes me back. Hand him over. Those poor black mages. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Thank you, Cameron. I will turn the game up a little bit. Yeah, the title screen is louder. I wonder if I can adjust that in-game. The Red Wings are supposed to protect people, not to harm them. That's enough. But Captain, surely you don't condone what we've done. All of you listen well. The raid on Mysidia was imperative for Baron's prosperity. The Mericidians know too much about the crystals. Their very possession of one is a real threat to Baron. His Majesty ordered to obtain the crystal, and as soldiers of the Royal Air Force, we are sworn to obey. Captain. Captain, monsters sighted deadhead. Prepare for battle. Just gonna attack. Okay, cool. Red Fang. So one of the things that I remember vehemently about the original is that Cecil had all these cool powers in this opening, and then you never get to see him again. Are you all right? We've got more hostiles. Damnation.
Hey, Imran. Hey, Brian.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
I heard you guys. I heard you were watching the Xbox thing earlier, so I came to join you guys.
Yes, and then we're going to be doing the Final Fantasy 16 event later today. And
nice.
Don't worry, I'm going to be chiming in.
Xbox?
Xbox just finished. So I'm streaming Final Fantasy IV right now. So you'll be hearing me read the text as well. Just heads up. Is everyone okay?
So later on, what time on Twitch will you be streaming the Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy 16's event kicks off at 6 o'clock Central today. I'm going to probably start around 5:30, and I will also probably be up on Twitch around about 30 minutes before it kicks off.
Sounds good. Hopefully I'm home by then. I'm going out with my family in a little bit, so hopefully I'm home by then. Otherwise, whenever I come home, if you're still streaming, I'll join then.
Yeah, dude, jump in and etc. It doesn't matter if you're late to the party. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we get our hands on with a demo. That's what I'm hoping for, so we will see. But it's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one. 6 o'clock starts the keynote. It won't end. It's good, it's a 4-hour event.
Oh, okay. So then I'll definitely have plenty of time to join then.
Yes, absolutely. All right.
Oh yeah, I really hope we get a demo as well. I've been hearing rumors about the fact we're supposed to get a demo for the game, so I really hope those rumors come true.
I think they will. I think in all of our interest, it makes sense. But all right, cool, man. Well, we will plan to see you tonight.
True. I wanted to ask you a question before I go, Brian.
Go ahead.
Wanted to ask, what do you like? I saw your video basically on YouTube about the Spear class.
Yes, the new one from Blue Protocol, the Blitz Lancer. Yeah.
Like, I'm very happy the Spear class came out, and I'm actually very happy it's a fast-paced class. I'm actually changed from bow and play the Spear when it comes out global because I like fast-paced kind of classes, like fast-paced weapons.
Yeah.
So I might play that. I wanted to ask, what's your opinion on the class? What do you think of it?
So the Spear gives me hope that we'll continue to see them roll out maybe a class like once a year or something like that, and I think that's going to be really exciting. I don't know if you'll see the Spear class at launch of global, because that could be something they build up to, but ultimately we'll find out what they decide to release when they decide to release it all together. Oh man, 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm getting text messages.
Sounds good. I even heard from someone in our group that in the files for the Japanese Blue Protocol, that there's actually a file called Guns, so it looks like we actually will be getting a Gunner class as well, which is good.
Guns coming in. I think they've given us a good tease of all the different classes, and it's just a matter of when they decide to roll those out, which I think is personally going to be very exciting to see for the life and the health of the game as it goes forward.
I agree, and I'm also very happy about Blue Protocol as well, because I was really getting sick of seeing like all these online games that have like this gacha system and everything. So I'm very happy that Blue Protocol is like one of those old school games where the gacha is mostly like cosmetics and stuff like that. So I'm very happy to see that.
Now, regarding the 16 event, I see chat going off. We got to keep doing some time conversions. 4 p.m. PST. That's 6 o'clock Central. So to set it kind of from now, it starts 4 hours from now, and I'll be live 30 minutes prior. So do the time in your head. So if you're listening and hanging out, the event officially kicks off 4 p.m. Pacific time, 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. So, you know, just for your time.
Basically my time.
Yes.
Yep.
So.
Let me see. Okay.
Paw Patrol isn't working? You need my help?
What's your channel name again one more time, Brian? Like, I know
Ginger
I
Prime.
You. I just want to make sure I watch the right channel when you start.
Yeah, Ginger Prime. That's where we're live right now. And then, so I'm doing Ginger Prime. I'm on Kick right now, Facebook, and Twitter. So, and you, well, that's just a Ginger Prime is kind of the first one. All right, Gabe needs some help with the Paw Patrol video game. I'll be right back.
Okay. There we go. Yep, I've subscribed to him. Yeah, I've already followed him. I'm just making sure I followed him. Ah, there it is.
Good stuff.
Yeah, Work to Gamer. Yeah, I saw the Twitch one. Work to Gamer.
Right.
Nice picture, by the way, Imran.
Thank you.
Like a horror version of Pikachu.
Yeah, my best friend drew it like years ago, and he's literally just like, he was bored, and he was just doing it offhand.
Oh wow!
And I was like, oh, can I just use this as like an avatar for everything? And he's like, yeah, why not? It was fine. So.
Okay. Wanted to ask you, are you also going to play Blue Protocol when it comes out?
Maybe. I'm not entirely certain.
You're not entirely sure yet?
No, I mean they haven't really released a class that I'm really like enamored with.
Okay. So maybe when a class you like comes out, you'll probably try it then.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's free to play if I recall correctly.
Sounds good. And that's the one thing I actually I was telling Brian earlier. That's one thing I'm very happy about when it comes to the game is the fact that it's free to play, and like the gacha system they have in it is mostly like cosmetics and everything like that, which is nice. Because I was getting.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like oh, continue. Sorry.
No, that's interesting. I didn't realize they had. I haven't really been keeping up to date with it all that much, just because it is a game that I'm not like I'm not looking forward to it. I mean, it's cool. It's an MMO, you know. But
yeah.
No, it's neat that at least as long as the gacha system is only like cosmetics, that's fine.
Yeah, it's basically one of those old school MMO games where you grind out everything, you upgrade your weapons, like that kind of stuff. It's not one where you try to get like characters and stuff through the gacha. This one is just basically a complete it's a complete old school one where it's mostly cosmetics towards your character or amounts that you can get for. That's it, which is good in my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I mean, I'm always up for like being able to earn stuff through gameplay as opposed to like pulling out your credit card.
Agreed. Yeah, I'd rather do that entirely as well. I'd rather just earn it through grinding because it makes it also much. You also feel a sense of satisfaction about the fact that you earned it yourself, right? It makes it more worthwhile.
Exactly. It hits that dopamine real hard.
Yep.
But I mean, the spear class, I know of it. I haven't looked into it. If they add like a great sword class, or like I have to look at the what is it called? That like sphere gun thing.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I know. I have to look at more.
The one that looks like a mace kind of thing with a ball at the end.
Yeah, and the ball like can detach from it.
Yeah.
I have to check that out to see what that looks like.
What's the conversation?
Unconventional. So.
Oh, Brian, is that you?
Yeah, it's me. So what's the conversation going on here? Because like I see chat saying people will say it's pay to win because internet. Like, were we talking about pay to win?
We're talking about Blue Protocol.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah,
but
people are gonna say. Yeah, they're gonna label it that. 1 second. Let me fix this. They're gonna label. Yeah, they'll label Blue Protocol as pay. They'll label everything as pay to win. If they don't like it, yeah.
I mean, pay to win is a catch-all for a lot of stuff these days.
It's like I don't like this about it, therefore it's that. Now, I mean, it could it doesn't even have PvPs. I'm not even that worried about it. Let me add a game capture here.
Agreed. That's why I'm wondering, like, how is it pay to win to begin with when there's no gacha system to like get powerful characters?
It has a gacha system.
PvP system.
It has a gacha for mounts and for costumes.
Exactly. So that's why I was saying, like, that doesn't make it pay to win though, just because it has a
I agree.
Cosmetics.
I agree.
That's about right.
I'm just saying that I've heard so many people. Yeah, I'm fixing this here. 1 second. Where's my PS5? PS Royal Play. There we go. Sweet. And then that should hopefully refresh itself. Oh. I don't know what it's doing. Oh, that's Summer Games Fest. Did I kill the thing? I kill the app? 1 second.
You broke it, Brian.
I did. Oh, it closed the application. I was trying to just direct capture, but I guess I can capture from the screen. There it goes. Does it not like that? Oh man, it does not like that. Okay, screw that then. I was like, it was not having fun. Okay, we'll just go back to desktop, and then I'll bring it back up because it was like it does not want to be captured. Oh my goodness. All right, cool. Good to know. Good to know. I was just thinking. I was like, oh, I'm gonna move this screen around, and I had it. Can't connect my PS5. Let's go. Come on. I was like, I'm just gonna move the screen around to be a little bit more advantageous, but oh well. Lesson learned. That's why we fall down, Bruce. All right, cool. Yeah, because I was like, all right, there we go. I'll have to figure out.
Dark Knight reference, by the way.
Thank you. I use that all the time. It's like what? What? I quoted in that moment incessantly, especially as a dad. Like whenever, especially if I stub my toe. When do I fall down, Bruce? All right. Cool. All right. Continue on. I'm going to be trusted. He clearly questions your authority. He does. Your counsel is well heeded. Bayagan. But so long as I obtain the crystal, Cecil's transgressions matter little. Send him in. Yes, your majesty. Such a good game, dude.
Nice, yeah. Any games you are looking forward to, Yimrun, that's coming out?
Any games that I'm looking forward to?
Yeah.
Well, one game I am looking forward to playing is Jedi Survivor.
Ooh.
I've been playing that game, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for some of the what's it called, the optimization stuff to be better.
Got it.
So, but any new game, I haven't even been paying attention to any new games. I just play the games that I already play.
But anything catch your eye, really? Like anything from the Summer Game Fest you've seen?
What's Summer Game Fest?
No, never mind.
Sorry, is that like a Steam thing?
No, that's what's been going on like since Thursday. So we've seen like the announcement.
I haven't even been paying attention. The only thing that I'm actually looking forward to, I guess you could say, is Starfield looks pretty legit.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope they can deliver.
Yeah, it's all about it right now.
I'm probably gonna wait till like, I don't know, Christmas or next January to be like.
Sadly, I can see that a lot of big hit games that are supposed to come out. I've noticed they usually wait for the holiday season because then more people can play the game, right?
Right. Well, Starfield is coming out September 6th.
Ah.
So.
Not that far though.
No, it's not. It's only 3 months away. Oddly enough. But I'll probably wait a few months for it to come out and patch all the bugs and game-breaking issues and stuff. I mean,
Makes sense.
Oh yes, hello Kane. I'll take the ring and be gone. Receive the bomb ring, Your Majesty. Yeah, I would say like Starfield absolutely. 16. Oh my gosh, dude. Diablo 4 has been phenomenal. Like I feel like as a gamer, like this has been an incredible year for me. And then I feel like online, the discourse around video games has just gotten like dog crap, like levels. Like I'm like,
vitriolic.
Yeah, like everybody is pissed off. Like, oh, interesting.
I agree on that for sure. I don't understand what people are losing their shit over. But I do agree, though, for this year for gaming has been amazing.
Yes.
Some of the games have been spectacular. Like, I can't wait for Final Fantasy 16. Heck, I can't wait for Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I played the first one and Miles Morales. I love both of them. And the second one is looking amazing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then like gamers try to hit things like, oh, they're reusing assets. I don't care. Make a fun game.
Exactly.
Make a fun game.
They're reusing. I completely agree with you, Brian.
But I would say on that point, just to kind of like to make sure that nobody else kind of clarifies, I see both sides of the camps trying to hit on people with that line. Oh, it's just reused assets. And then it's like, but then they excuse their side. That in and of itself drives me nuts. Like, just make a fun game. Anyway, go ahead. You were going to say something.
I mean, the issue I have with reused assets is that it can be perceived as laziness.
Yeah, perception is a SOB, you know.
Right. But like to me, I can kind of see that though. You know that you're making a new game and you're not going to make new assets. Like,
yeah,
why not? You know.
I disagree. Sorry. Hi, I'm.
Welcome in.
Everybody.
What's up?
Oh, Parabody, sorry about that.
So the biggest problem reason I have a disagreement on that one is Call of Duty is consistently considered a great game, even though that game has basically been reused for the last 10 years now.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And it's like Call of Duty 5. So
Yeah.
it's just reruns after reruns after reruns, and they bring back guns that they got rid of and just bring them right on back. With the same skin, everything, it's just the same stuff. They're just reusing assets over and over again. They probably have to tweak things a little bit to make it usable for the different console generations, but it's still they're just reusing stuff. Same thing, Final Fantasy is a really good one because Moogles, for example, are just reused assets over and over and over again. But the thing is that it really comes down to the development of the game. Is it just good? And I think right now, here these last couple years, we had a lot of just negativity revolving around various game companies, whether it was Blizzard, EA, Activision, you name it. There was something negative going on with them. So we're always looking for something negative with every single company out there, regardless of what it is, and no one's giving anybody a chance.
How much do you feel that is in relation to what content creation has become somewhat, and social media, right? Because I was saying, and I think it was even Karamak or something like that. It was literally in the comments in regards to the negative is what gets the has the better chance of that viral moment, that trending, and it's a game in how I view it. And I'm not saying I like this. I'm just saying as somebody who makes content, has been doing it for as long as I have, the veil is off. There's the game of content creation. It doesn't mean that everybody's playing a shitty game. It just means that you definitely see kind of those those headlines and those the same words and phrases, and in a way the same kind of oh, everybody's got to make I wish I knew this before playing Diablo. Oh, I wish da. And the reason it ends up being is because people engage with that. It is, in an engagement economy, these things get incentive. How much do you think of that has to play in with our kind of current state of gaming?
I'd have to say it definitely has a massive role in it. You go, most people, before they go and they buy something, and it could be anything, including games, though, and I'm guilty of it myself, you'll look up a review of the game, especially if it's a relatively new game and you don't know if you want to spend the $60, now $70 to $90 on the game. You want to make sure that the investment's going to be a good investment, especially if it's a AAA game. You're gonna look into the reviews, and if somebody is saying a bunch of bad things, or you're just seeing a bunch of negative stuff all over the place, well, now you're gonna be jumping on the bandwagon of, oh, that's a bad game, and you're never actually gonna give the game a fair shake. And who knows, that game might actually fit you actually more than anything. I know right now, for me, Final Fantasy 14, I probably have the most hot take for Endwalker out of anybody I've ever talked to, because I think it's an absolute garbage expansion.
I don't think you've seen some of the venom that has come my way.
But that's just my opinion. But you see, there's a lot of people that are out there that saying that Endwalker is fantastic. And
I wish we could categorize though, because not that it's wrong to not, if you like Endwalker, that's great. But I'm saying I wish we could categorize people in buckets of this is your first expansion cycle versus oh, you're a veteran. And then kind of gathering the opinions and different, just to understand it better. Because one of the things that somebody said is that you see more veterans going well, yeah, it's just kind of I really want them to, kind of just bring a little bit more. It's you kind of have predictability. The fact that spreadsheets exist that pinpoint dates going forward with almost 99% accuracy. It's a good thing because they know what's coming. But I do also wonder the defense, as people are still in that infatuation period, and so that it's just oh, this game could do no wrong. And then at some point, after so many years, and it's gonna be different for everybody, that eventually they're well, yeah, I thought, because I felt Shadowbringers was way better done than Endwalker, and I don't Because I agree, I don't think it's not the worst of the expansions. For me, Stormblood really didn't get finished until Shadowbringers. Like, there were some expansions where they just left so much open that it was like, oh, you go down the Ivalice storyline of Stormblood, and you're like, yes, this is great. But then with Endwalker, I was just like, okay. Anyway, you were saying, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, I was just more gonna go like on the test and the question of what you were saying of like if content creation has anything to play with it. Like, yeah, everyone like looking at reviews are gonna see like what they want to see basically, or somebody else is gonna like mold their ideas, and so that plays a massive role into pretty much all of this. As far as like Endwalker and all of that and Shadowbringers, I gotta agree. I think Shadowbringers was a much better designed expansion, but I think the problem with Shadowbringers, Stormblood, even Endwalker right now is that you kind of hit this like the very peak with Shadowbringers, but the peak with that period's like design philosophy, that period's resources, that period's like amount of money and all that. Because Shadowbringers basically began like a whole new, I guess, like curve, I guess you can say, because now we're into Endwalker, where we're now back into the bottom, and it's really frustrating for me, being someone who's been playing this game since 2.0, watching this at every patch come out, and I'm just like, this is frustrating. Like, what are they doing? Like, these are things that I would have thought that they would have done and fixed already, or things that I thought they would not have flopped on. Because there are some things in Endwalker that I think are great, aka Criterion. It's something that's gone around the community that has been praised. Criterions are good content, but it's flopped in my opinion because of the fact that you don't have the rewards to add any kind of replayability, and that to me is just crap. And these are things that I would have thought that, like, from I guess a player standpoint who's been here for a while, that they would have kind of like picked up on the idea that people need something to make them play the game, or make them do the content. Like, if there's nothing there at the end, like, we're not going to touch it. The last raid tier, I probably saw more parties up in last raid tiers, party finders, strictly because of all of the particle effects and everything, because of that gear. People were wanting to either be able to get the gear so that it can dye it, or they were still farming normal mode just so they could get the gear because it looked cool. We knew from day one that was going to be a raid tier that was going to get farmed to oblivion. And so, like, but people wanted the stuff. There was a nugget at the end of the line, so there was a reason to do it. But then Criterion giving us nothing but materia, like, man, like, you can basically take a piece of content and just throw it into the garbage at that point because of what's there at the end. And I really don't like that, because of the fact that, like, there's other good pieces of the content in here in this game that just doesn't get, and nothing happens to it because nobody interacts with it, because there was nothing like really good with it at the end of the line. And my, like, what is it, Squadrons. I personally think Squadrons is a very good system.
Oh yeah, and then it's like, and then buy Squadrons.
What's that?
They got, like, basically they haven't done anything with them.
Yeah, like, I think it was a great system for a foundational, but then they never did anything with it, and instead they trashed it, gave us trusts, or whatever it is called now, and I'm like, we didn't need that. You already had all that foundational stuff already there. Yes, it's cool to be able to run with all the story characters, and you can add extra story into the dungeons. That's cool. I would have rather them just focused on that for the case of Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and anything afterwards. Because have you gone back and done the dungeons with the trusts in, like, 2.0?
No. I retired from Final Fantasy 14, so I haven't touched the game.
So the trusts in 2.0, at least I haven't gotten to 3.0 yet, because I'm doing a story replay on another character because of everybody being so hyped about Endwalker, and I'm trying to understand why. Because I also had the the login queue issue, which completely just
Ooh, that was rough,
wrecked
dude.
my machine too.
That was absolutely rough because like I was like, oh, I'd like to play, and then it's like, and it
Yeah.
wasn't that it was a big queue. It was literally that when you played, like it would kick you out of queue, and then that was actually apparently some kind of 1.0 bug. Like, so when Yoshi P was like, we don't have any tech debt. It's like that's not true. Everybody has tech debt, but that was some tech debt they weren't aware of. And that and it's unfortunate because the game was absolutely like the height of its popularity, with the wave of new people coming to check it out, and all of a sudden all the returning players coming back for the expansion. One thing I'm going to kind of pause on one thought here, because as I've been reading the story, as an adult, the first thing that kind of resonates with me that I did not pick up on as a kid was Kane talking about how he's he lost his father, and his father was a dragoon, and he felt like he could draw closer to his father by becoming a dragoon. And that was something I was like, oh, wow. Like, so as I was kind of reading this, that was something that for me right now as a parent, I was like, holy crap. Like that was something that really stood out to me, just from the characters alone. But anyway, I just wanted to call that out before I ended up forgetting. You were saying?
Yeah, that note is actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I need to go back and replay this game.
Yeah, that's why I'm playing it. I was like, oh my gosh. I wanted also the first game that I play on a PS5 is to be in to be Final Fantasy 4. Just think it's poetic. Thank you guys. And like Yevon and Fido and Solace, like you guys are the ones who made this PS5 possible. So thank you guys very much.
You're always welcome, Brian.
But yeah, as I was saying, as I'm doing my story replay, I decided to go and try out the trusts, and it's just a bunch of like whatever based off of whatever grand company you choose. It's just random NPCs from that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any like real story function to it or anything like that. So all of 2.0's trust system is just as if they just threw in random NPCs.
It would be cool if they combined the squadron system so you could kind of play around with it the whole time, but
yeah, and I would have liked to have seen squadrons like gone farther, and especially with the fact that if you would have been able to glamour your squadrons, do a little bit more like development on them, like there's a lot of things you can do with that. And yes, I understand a lot of people are against this idea of a solo play of the game, but I'm gonna be quite honest, man. There are times I love the MMO aspect of the game. That's part of the biggest reason why I got into this game. But there are just days that I just don't want to mess with people, man. If I could just sit there and do raid content by myself, I would be so happy. Seeing Heidelin as a solo trial that you could do by yourself, like that excited me. Like I was like, yes, they need to do more of these so that I can do like hard content by myself, and I don't have to worry about other people, because some days you're just like, one, I don't have the time to sit in a queue and wait for people. NA Party Finder is just dumb because we don't ever use Raid Finder, so you would think if we used Raid Finder that good chance our queues would be significantly shorter, but no, we sit in Party Finder for hours on end, and we're watching people go in and out of our parties. I'm sitting in a party right now for Zervin Unreal, and this is where I've been for like the last hour.
Oh, dude, that sucks.
That's exactly my point. Like, otherwise, and I'm a healer, so
Wait, for the past hour? Sorry, I just came back. I had to excuse myself for 2 minutes for the past hour.
Wow,
yeah,
welcome back.
the last hour that
Holy crap.
that I'm just going like, this is kind of a little ridiculous, but if we used Raid Finder, we might actually like be able to get into this duty a little bit faster. And quite honestly, 9 times out of 10, I don't care what Party Finder says. It could say some phase later, some part or mechanic later in a phase. Your party it's like a coin flip on whether or not you're gonna make it 50% of the fight. So like it's basically, if you talk to a lot of like the higher end raiders who do Party Finder consistently, they basically say like subtract 2 major mechanics back from whatever the Party Finder says, because that's a good chance where you're gonna make it to. And they're not wrong. Like that's pretty much where you're gonna get to, almost without fail. And that's why I say like, might as well just do the stuff in Raid Finder, and at least then you'll be able to get more runs, because when it comes down to like prog, for example, especially in your world prog groups, what allows for them to
Be careful.
get the fights done in a quick time is the amount of pulls.
I'm like listening to this awesome conversation, and then I have Mikey climbing on me trying to have me fight this boss. Hey, there you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Like, oh man, I'd like to say that, but I'm like also hyper focused. What's going on, Randy? How you doing today, dude? What's up, chat? Okay, cool. So we have now officially finished the kind of openings. I'm gonna do my first save of, my goodness, dude. This is so beautiful. I love this game so much. I remember getting the strategy guide for this game, and one of the things that I found about the guide was always interesting to me, because the it was like you had to do several fights against what like now are called goblins, but were translated as imps. And I was like, I couldn't read the word several because I struggle with words, and so I took it to my teacher, and she helped me understand. It was like, and then eventually I farmed up the imp or the goblin summon, which you can get and use later. Gosh, man, this takes me back. So, there's so much joy in my heart right now. Like the Pixel Remasters is such a great collection. Oh. I'm glad I'm doing this right now. Potion. I think I'm good. I think I will outlevel the need for some of this stuff.
Reminds me of some of my old days playing like Legend of Zelda and the what is it, Dragon Quest?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Game Boy versions of those.
Yeah, dude. The dragons. Oh, cool. There's stuff I don't remember too. So they sealed that up. Anyway. Good old magic schools.
Magic School Bus you guys are talking about, or a different one?
Whose name would you like to change? I think I'm not going to change anybody's name. No, I was talking about like the schools of magic, where in Final Fantasy, it's like they generally kind of give you some tips and tricks for beginners about like, oh, how to cast on multiple self, and like I think they'll have it like, hey, you can cast cure magic on like the undead, and that will hurt them and stuff like that. Oh, cool. Yeah, let me do the switch.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I like Final Fantasy 12. It's one of like probably my top favorite
Dude,
games.
12 is so good. People hate on 12, and it really shocks me. I'm like, what?
Final Fantasy 12 was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
12 is probably the starting point of the shift from your turn-based into what we have now. And so like it was actually my first Final Fantasy game I ever played.
Really?
And now of course, I mean, like, you got a little bit of bias there, but it's one of those ones where I'm just like, the amount of things that you can do in Final Fantasy 12, especially the original one. In my opinion, I think the customization back then was a lot more in the original one. I'm not a big fan of the Zodiac Age. But like, it's the way that you went about like battling different bosses and enemies and all, with, like you said, using cure and all those things, is like, it's so different than like playing 14, and it's a part of the reason why like I wish we could get more stuff in 14 from like some of these older games, like CC abilities and stuff like that, because they're so great.
Yeah, well, it ends up being like the strategy, or how the game is played right now, is it's like it all comes down to DPS, right? So it's like, oh, don't bother crowd control mechanics, burn it down, and it's like, oh man, yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, there's a few phases where fights where you have to worry about crowd control, like in Eden, like you actually had to use interrupts for the ad phase, but other than that,
she's taking off her clothes.
Stuff like that don't really exist anymore.
I think there's some hidden treasures in the water. Okay, not here. Oh, there we go. Found a tent. An hourglass. Sweet. Awesome. Wow. Random stuff that I remember. Cool deal. Why do I think there's something? Can I go down from here? No. I always felt like there's something going on over here, but oh wait. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yes.
Man, this makes me even more excited for 16 too.
Dude, 16 I'm really excited for. Namely because it feels like it's going to be a game that they finished and it's complete. Like that was my biggest issue with 15. It was like 15 feels like just like it could have been this really great experience if they were like, yep, it's all one experience and not like these thousands of different experiences, and thus like if you only like do a little bit, you don't really get the whole story.
Well, I never did the DLCs. I didn't think the price on them was really worth paying for them, especially when I could just watch YouTube. Because when I did the calculation between my hours spent in the DLC to what you were gonna actually do,
honestly, that's probably what I need to do on some of these things. Like, let me just watch the summary and feel like it's all get it connected.
The only one I was like wanting to actually potentially buy was the Arden one, and that was only because
the Arden one was great.
Arden's probably my favorite antagonist in almost any Final Fantasy game I've played so far.
Yeah.
And so like I like how I'm also a writer, so I like how like mysterious he is kind of throughout the entire game.
Yeah.
And you never actually like figure out who he is or what his part to play is in the game until like the very end. Like I thought that was superb writing.
Yeah.
On C's part. But the game itself, in my opinion, didn't really need the DLCs. I mean, it needed it, but didn't need it. I do think those DLCs should have just been in the game in the first place.
Exactly.
But like, there's enough story there that I'm just going, and it's not that big of a deal. The problem I had with it was mainly with the combat, because I feel like I played 15 after I played Kingdom Hearts 3, and I feel like they both had the same problem, just too much floaty combat. So you're like you feel like you just spend more time just like throwing yourself up in the air and just then attacking like that, or at least I did, because the warp strike attacks just did so much damage.
Yeah. Oh man. But like that was kind of fun. I felt like it felt 15, especially when it released, is like it felt like okay, they have to get this out. The problem ends up being is because I think they also, when they joined it with the mindset of what 13 versus 13 was, like everybody was like, oh, they put a lot of time in it. It's like, oh man, this has started over so many times, like just let them release it. But I just like, man, I wish that we had, oh gosh, I felt like if they put 2 more years into it, I think it'd be great. Thanks, Ronald, man. I love you too, dude. Hopefully you're having a good day, dude.
I think at least another 2 more years, probably would have been good. Arguably, I would say 15 probably was not any better than 13 though, if you consider 13 in its entirety of all 3 games.
13 feels like the thing that bit it was they got caught off guard by the kind of the HD revolution. So that Square Enix themselves kind of wasn't prepared for the workflow. And then because of that, then they ended up, just like, oh man. And then, because 13 out until you get to Grand Pulse. Oh, there's a treasure chest I missed. Until you get to Grand Pulse, like it's very linear, like it's like hallway linear, not like, because it's a story. It's storyers like generally like have that narrative linearity to it. You choose to ignore my warnings. Of course I do. This is so sad too. Like I know what happens. Such an interesting concept of the summoner and the relationship between the summon and the summoner. Or when I played the game originally, the caller. Oh, I should probably wait and not do auto battle. It's kind of like the Final Fantasy VI fight at the beginning. Like a certain kind of mode you don't want to attack them. Oh shoot.
I didn't play 6.
Oh. Oh wait.
Oh my goodness, we finally get in.
Oh, you haven't ever played 6?
No.
Oh dude, that's such a good game.
I definitely agree on that too. That's another good game. I played all of them, which is one thing I'm very happy about, that I managed to play all of them. So I've liked seeing how the game has improved and how it's changed actually throughout the years. One thing
Yeah.
I'm also very happy about Final Fantasy is a lot of the game that basically a lot of the games like have their own story to it, right? Like it's not the same story that's used over and over again.
Yeah.
Which is the one thing I'm definitely happy about when it comes to the Final Fantasy series. It's not the same recycled story again and again. Like it's something new every time.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I'm excited to see how it plays, how it feels. 16 feels with the action combat and, you know, and more. Like, I really think that's gonna be great. Do I actually have darkness powers? No. Okay. Because this is something I think that was different from how it was originally. Because like we saw these cool darkness powers right at the start of the game, and then it's like, no, you don't have access to any of that. Oh, sweet. I wonder if it does different things or if it's just like, that's your one ability. Oh, it drains my life. Okay, that's why I don't want to do that. Hear like a, oh good, got him. Yeah, I hear like a little, one of the smoke detectors saying, I need a new battery. Adulthood.
Exactly. I also work and everything like that, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a pain in the ass sometimes. Sometimes I wish I was back to being a kid, if that makes sense, right?
There's a simplicity and obviously like, oh man, you know, like things being handled for you, but you know, you can't go backwards. So like, I just try to enjoy everything we got. It's like, all right, I have a family, I got kids, and in a way, like when I see a lot of the bitterness towards video games on the internet, it's a really nice thing for me to be like, guys, my kids are playing like Paw Patrol, and I'm like, there's no way I would have bought this game, but it's on Game Pass, and they love it. You know, it's like, okay, I just try to see games kind of through their eyes, and it's so weird because, like, somebody said that I was toxically positive about video games. And I was like, okay, good. All right, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy over here. You know.
I'm all for video games being like of all sorts of styles and everything like that.
And price points, right? I think that's where a lot of it comes down to. Because like, is this game worth $70? Like Forspoken, I really enjoy Forspoken. If you find it for $40, I think you might too. You know, like there's a lot of things that I really enjoyed about it. Like I think 16 is gonna blow it away. But immediately people see, well, I mean, Lord knows, like my 16 was not $70. I spent an insane amount of money on this game.
I spent about 100 on mine. But
What'd you guys buy for 16?
I got the physical collector's edition, and it was kind of like a one of those treat yourself moments in life. You know,
that's
like
what I was about doing.
last year kicked my ass, and you guys helped me out immensely. And then, you know, so it was like all of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm settled into the new job. Okay, cool. We're not drawing from savings every month. Okay, I think I'm gonna do this.
Nice. For me, I got like the standard edition on. If I didn't get like the collector's edition in time, the deluxe edition didn't make sense. So I got the standard edition, and the nice thing is the standard edition gives the same pre-orders as the physical deluxe edition does. So I got like the digital version of the regular version.
Yeah, that was part of my biggest problems, like deluxe editions and the standard editions. There wasn't like a lot of a difference between them.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, what's the point in getting the deluxe edition if there's really not much difference, right?
Yeah, which is why I went with the digital deluxe. Because if you had the digital standard, there was a difference, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. And the only reason why I went with the digital is like I don't want to play going and picking up the game from some store. Plus around here it's a little bit difficult to. Oh, I got hit.
Oh no, finish first. Sorry, brother.
Go ahead.
Man,
Oh no, I was saying I completely agree with you on that because ever since like GameStop and that kind of stuff closed around in my area, there's really no place for me to pick up games unless I go to like a Best Buy or something, which is like a 30-minute drive from where I am.
And one of the downsides about that though is I remember usually going into the GameStop and it was always kind of like, yeah, I'm going in to buy something, but it was kind of fun to talk with other gamers or like, you know, like, hey, yeah, this is what's coming out. And of course, then they'd give you want to subscribe to this? Do you want to pre-order anything else? Or they,
Well, the
so
nice
at least
thing
we don't have
about
that anymore.
You got to actually talk to real human beings about their opinions on X game. So if there was
Yeah.
a game that you were thinking about getting and they played it, like you could get an opinion from an actual player and not just from some like speed reviewer of the game who was just reviewing it to get money from YouTube or some review site or something like that. So the
Yeah.
review may or may not be like a good review that actually had any meaning to it. So it's like it definitely, like, I ended up picking up games I probably wouldn't have picked up before talking to those people. So like it made a massive difference.
Oh, I agree. Like for me, GameStop and like that kind of stuff is actually what got me into the Persona series. Actually, I met a couple people who were talking about the Persona series. They told me how much they liked it. They told me if you like certain games, you'll probably like it.
Mhm.
And I actually really like the Persona series. I played every single one. For me, Persona 5 Royal and Persona 4 Golden are some of my favorite Persona games altogether because of the extra content they added to those two.
Yeah, those are some of the games that I really want to try to find and make time for. Oh, why am I attacking her? Jeez. Do I have to
Actually,
attack her?
You have an Xbox, right, Brian? Or
Yeah, I have an Xbox and a PS5 and a Switch and a Steam Deck, and I think I have a problem with video. Like, I'm just like,
No, that's fine. I've got a PS5. I've got a Switch. I have a couple others here and there, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm a video gamer at heart, so I don't
Yeah.
mind having a lot of systems. But I was saying, like, the Persona 3 remake is coming out for the Xbox on the Game Pass soon, so you could easily try it there. It's like from
good.
what I remember seeing through the trailer, it's basically like they basically remastered it for high definition, so it looks more modern. So you could definitely try it out there if you like,
perfect.
because Persona 3 was definitely a popular game in the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just announced that today, right? That was a part
I
of it.
saw
Yeah.
it. Oh, sorry. Continue.
No, you're good. I was like, I believe that's what we saw. So I was like, cool.
That's what we saw today. So yeah, so I figured if you want to try out Persona, definitely try out 3 because it's actually where the game got popular. Like they really like the mechanics in 3, and that's what developed in the 4 and 5.
Oh, good to know.
There was a remaster or or remake.
I think it's a remaster. Like from what I could see, it had I think it had some additional features added here or there. But from what I really noticed is they just the graphics they really improved on to
Yeah.
make it more like a modern version of Persona series.
And thanks for hanging out, Ferris. Hopefully you have a great day, and hopefully we get to see all y'all tonight for the Final Fantasy 16 event.
I have to check out that game then because I haven't had a chance to look at any Persona games yet, but I keep hearing such good things about them.
Oh, they are my favorites. I played all of them. Heck, Persona 5, let me tell you this, Persona 4 Golden, which I played on the PlayStation Vita. I enjoyed the game so much. I've logged over 400 hours worth into the game, even though I played the game over and over because there's a new Game Plus feature every time. But it is just so much fun that I was just like, forget it. I don't care if I know it, and I'm still going to continue playing it. Like, that's how much fun I had in the game.
Mm-hmm. Chat's asking, Ronald says, am I going to stream and upload a playthrough of 16? And yes. And so my current content schedule for that is I'm not taking time off work because I had to use all of my PTO and actually go into a little PTO debt at work to help Julie with the baby. So I'm not going to take time off work, but the 22nd, Julie for Father's Day is giving me like the evening of the 22nd, the evening of the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th. So I'm gonna live stream Final Fantasy 16, and then those streams will then will be edited down and turned into like I did with Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker, kind of having that kind of play through as a kind of a ideal just a piece of thing for me to remember and enjoy.
How long do you think it'll take for you to finish 16?
See, that's the thing. Like, it looks like it's a meaty game, right? Like, I think it'll be interesting to see because obviously the first playthrough, I want to get let really dive into the story and the lore and what's going on in the game. And then like I'm also very interested in what they have with like the additional difficulties and the score attack and like systems and things like that, so that I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I could easily probably put in a couple 100 hours into 16, assuming I like it, right? Like, if we get the demo today and we're hanging out playing the demo today, and it's like, oh man, I don't like, like, oh man, like, oh no. I don't think that's gonna be the case, but it's that, assuming that it's like I could see myself really kind of making it kind of a summer of 16, and then that would be really fun. Like, so, yeah, that's my plan. What about you guys?
I am getting 16. I actually got a PS5 just for 16. That and Armored Core 6 when that comes out. But
Oh, cool.
I have no idea how long it's gonna take. But like you, I'm planning on doing my own videos since I'm putting up my channel here soon.
Sweet, dude.
I'm probably gonna do a podcast over a review for 16.
Yes.
And so I was wanting to like bring on some notable names like you and Mr. Happy, some other people that I know that are actually gonna be playing 16. So, but I want a decent panel.
Oh no, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, let me know when
no,
that's going to be, and because like just give me a little bit more of a heads up time for scheduling, just because like that is my biggest weakness is like, oh, what's going on? So and the guy's like, hey, are you free on Tuesday? I was like, no, like in a couple of Tuesdays, yes.
I gotta basically plan a week to 2 weeks ahead for anything like extracurricular, because I run a business myself. So.
Yeah. Oh, dude, man, as somebody who did that for 5 years, tip of the hat, sir. Like, yeah. It's a lot of freedom, a lot of responsibility, a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
You go get fired.
Oh yeah, there'll definitely be a lot to do in this game, given the fact we can also go back to each area. Like, they won't be closed off to us.
Right.
We can go back to each area, explore it. Plus, also with the questing system and everything, also leveling up by the looks of it. Because when I saw like the gameplays they were doing of it in the streams, it looked like leveling up will definitely take a while. Like, even like I remember them attacking different enemies and fighting. It was like, yeah, it wasn't like a quick 3 to 4 slashes and that's it. You like actually have to put some combat work into like defeating your enemies.
And Randy says that they have actually put over 200 hours in Final Fantasy 15 and only got to Chapter 8. So I don't know, Randy. Like I would try, if you got 200 hours in 15, and I kind of maybe like, yeah, just go beat it. Like I feel like the ending I felt very satisfactory in 15. That's where I was like, but I know deep down it could be better, and it sounds like they've learned a lot from 15. And they're taking those lessons into 16. And that's really, as a developer and a gamer, all I can truly ask, because like everybody's going to resonate with different things differently. But it's like, did you see what went wrong? And then did you learn from it? And that's what I feel like Square Enix and Yoshi P specifically, like, the fan fests that they put on for 14, like there was a point where like it was like, they had the struggles, but the next fan fest didn't have the same struggles as the first, and the next fan fest didn't have either those struggles. So it's like, okay, here's how we can learn from this and address it. And so that's what I usually look forward to, and it's look into what it can be.
Well, I think they learned a lot from 15, and it showed even inside of 7 Remake when they did that action.
Yeah, I haven't played 7 Remake. It's on sale right now. I guess when I get paid, maybe I'll pick it up on PS5. I have it on PC, but there's something kind of nice playing it on a console. I don't know if that makes sense, but you agree, so cool.
I completely agree with you. I pretty much play all of my like console-based type of Final Fantasy games on console. So like Kingdom Hearts, all the other Final Fantasy games, they're all on console for me. 14 is the only thing I have on PC outside my Steam version of Final Fantasy X and X-2 that I bought as a collector's edition. Wow, this guy is getting hit like a truck. But yeah, so like it's I get it. But it's definitely a worthwhile game to probably pick up. I haven't finished it yet. I'm planning on going and finishing 7 Remake closer when Rebirth is coming out. That way, like, I'm a little bit more like fresh on what the end of the story was. Yeah,
I think what I'm gonna do, because I haven't seen the 7 Rebirth trailer, so I was like, oh, I haven't played 7R, and somebody was like, "Oh, it's the story's different or it's altered in a way," and it's like, okay, I'll hold off on playing it, etc.
That's something I would recommend doing. Is if you're gonna do remake, and if like you haven't played 7, like the original, like do like do the original story. And
I've beaten 7, like the original, but my thought is that when I play 16, I'll probably play 7 remake, because it'll be interesting kind of seeing the different combat systems and see like, oh, what one do I actually prefer,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, the Discord link. It should be in the description of all the videos and in the live stream, or you should be able to just type command Discord, which is like the exclamation mark. Let me see if it works here. Discord. See if the bot's deciding to be nice. If it decides to send it out. Okay, there it goes. And boom, baby. Perfect. Both Nightbot and Stream Elements on top of it. You got it?
I defeated this guy.
Way to go. Is Gabe still playing Paw Patrol downstairs, bud?
He just falls into the ocean and he just...
Oh, Rose is sick. I forgot that she was here. I knew I had to come to this house for some reason. Don't you dare on me. Okay, what the heck's going on? I gotta get some kind of rose or something. The sand ruby. Okay, cool. All right. Mission to save Rosa.
We did.
But yeah, overall, like Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, there's a lot of great games coming out this year, which I was not expecting to come out this year at all. So definitely, this year's been really good when it comes to video games overall.
Honestly, I think the last couple years have been like everyone on this thing of like, oh, there's all this like COVID debt and all this other crap. I'm like, man, I don't know what you guys are talking about, because it seems like these developers have just been going ham on developing games during COVID.
Once they were able to get their remote kind of work stuff, actually, I think it opened them up to more talent, because not everybody's like, I'm not going to move out to California. Like that does not interest me at all.
Unless you're Blizzard and you want to be stupid and say, yeah, everyone has to go back.
Like, no. No, there's strength in having, I get strength in those meetings and things like that, but yeah.
I get it, but the thing for me is a company like Blizzard, who's already now struggling and has been, I look at it and I go, why would you do that? Like, you need all the people you can get wanting to work for you. You don't need personnel needing to leave or anything like that. You need to keep all of your talent inside. Otherwise, like, you're gonna start seeing like the company frail.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's not gonna be like a pretty picture either. It's gonna be really bad, just destruction of that company. And I hate to see that, because I as much as I like the doggone WoW, I am not gonna stand in that. The having WoW in the space is kind of important, because of the fact that like it's a whole different game. I mean, I know there's a lot of comparisons that are made from 14 to WoW and vice versa, but they all build off of each other. Like there's stuff within, I would say Final Fantasy 14 would not be the type of game that it is without WoW, because I mean, I am almost certain Yoshi P looked at WoW and went, yeah, we ain't doing that.
Right. Well, he said it as much.
Yeah. And then there's other games that stuff. WoW has taken stuff.
Oh man, Caramac has a good point. Hold on, I'm gonna cut you off. Caramac says Blizzard a few months ago, if you don't return to the office, you're fired. Blizzard last week, due to limited development bandwidth, we've had to cut huge pieces of Overwatch 2. I'm obviously biased because I work remote. I work from home, and like that's like I told Julie, it's like I don't know what they would have to offer for me to be like, yeah, I think I will go into an office every day now, fight that commute, deal with that stress, you know, versus like, all right, I'm home and then I'm at work and then I can go easily to the gym, or I can go to the, you know, eat lunch with the family, or I can do a podcast with Chris. Like, no, man, like I don't even have a car anymore. I mean, it broke, so we're saving up for a new one, but it's like, I'm so lucky because it's like, now I don't have a car tax, because that's what, especially in Texas, like if you live in Texas, it's like you have to have a car if you're going to work. And thankfully we just have the one family vehicle right now. And it's like, yeah. And I'm fortunate because I work from home. Otherwise, like if I had to go somewhere every day, then I would have to go out in this market. My dad was like, he couldn't believe it. He was like, he was like, I'm thinking about getting a new car. And then, you know, he likes new cars, and that's what, like, you know, it's him, it's his money. I'm like, all right, that's not what I would spend my money on. And he's like, he bought his car like he has a 2012 Expedition, and I think he paid 36 grand for it. And he was trying to go get an equivalent of his Expedition now, and he's like, they're trying to sell it to me for $70,000, Brian. And I was like, I wouldn't pay it. Like I'd hold on to that, because I like that's unacceptable in my book. That's such a huge price.
Oh yeah, the used car market is like the same. Like you could probably take your broken down car and still get a really nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sell it for like 1,000. Like I think I could probably get 1,000 for parts. I literally just put 3,000 into it, 3,500 to replace like all these different parts. And it's like, so I know the parts still have value, so there's some value. Like I was like, some dad wants to try to work on a truck with his kid, and then yeah, here you go. Here's $1,000. Go nuts, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for a Mustang just for a part out reason. And I love Mustangs. Yeah, they're my favorite car as well. And
I sold my Mustang when Julie said she was pregnant.
But
goodbye, moment. Yeah, that's. Oh no, sorry. Continue. Sorry, I'll tell after.
I'm just gonna say, like, I'm trying to get a Mustang just for a part out reason. So, and they're all like $1,000 or more. All the broken down ones. I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I literally just parts from it. That's it. That's all I want it for. So yeah.
Oh no, back to what Brian was saying. Like one of my friends too, one of my close friends, he had a truck as well, who he loved, and he loved it and everything because it was basically he had it for so long. It was one of his favorite cars. Mm-hmm. But the moment he knew his wife was pregnant, he was like, okay, well, I love this car, but it's gotta go. I was like, really? Yeah. He said, yep. Time to be a father and trying to get a safer car, and a truck is not a safer car. It was like, touche.
Yeah, we have the van, which is not. So we drive around. We have the family van, and if we have any more kids, we're gonna have to get a bigger van.
Yourself a big old bus at this point.
And it's like, welcome to the Catholic family tour. Let's go.
And also, taking to what Brian said much earlier, I agree with them. People are very lucky if they're able to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
Like me, for instance, I can't work from home. I live in California. I have to work like an hour away from where I work. So as a result, I have to drive in every day.
That's like 40 hours a month. Like you think about one work week of your life, like every month, just commuting. It's like, oh, I feel you, dude. I did that. I used to commute 1 hour one way. You know, I did it like day in and day out, and it was like, yeah. I'm so spoiled because I'm like, you want me to drive 15 minutes, like to go see it? Like, I don't know, man. It's all 15 minutes. That's forever.
Exactly. But another thing I'll definitely say is the biggest problem I find with driving too is not just the commute, but also how expensive it is now to keep a car. Like even in California, the gas prices are ridiculous here. It's not even funny how much gas costs anymore.
Right.
Yeah, that's been like my biggest thing even this year. I run a landscape company, so I get just reamed with just gas prices. So I'm like constantly looking at them. And I live in Ohio, so my gas prices are nothing like they are in California, but they're still like close to $4 a gallon, or at least they were.
Man, that's cool.
It's over $4 a gallon for us now, and that's why I'm like, I definitely need to figure out if I should. I'm definitely thinking like from a new car, if I do get one soon, even though my car still like works perfectly well and everything for me, but with gas prices the way it is, I'm seriously thinking if I should go like into a hybrid or electric car altogether, because That'll definitely save me on the long run when it comes to gas.
Yeah, if you can, yeah, you gotta do some math on that, and then it can hopefully work out for you. I'll be right back, guys. Gabe needs some help with, and I'll be just a second. But y'all continue on.
The thing about an electric car is, like, you've got to make sure that you're gonna have the charging stations, if you need to go for like a long drive or something like that. Otherwise, you can find yourself really screwed, and you're not really gaining anything because it takes like 10 to 15 minutes to even get like a good charge from them, and it's not even like a full charge. It's we'll say it's like roughly a 35% charge on the battery, maybe a little bit more than that. So like one of my dad's friends, gosh dang, hold on. Anyways, one of my dad's friends, he got a Tesla, and we did they showed up the map thing on their GPS, and it shows like all the charging stations that you would need from well, yeah, where is just here. And so from where I live in Ohio, which is roughly around the Dayton area, to where my family lives over in like the Buffalo area in New York, it's about a 7 to 8 hour trip. You were gonna have to stop 4 to 5 times with a Tesla. I have to stop one time in my car and for gas. And so when you start calculating like your extra amount of time and other stuff like that, like that's stuff that needs to like start playing in your head of, okay, so when are you leaving? Like is this like middle of the day kind of thing, early in the morning, where do you gotta be? And so like it starts making a difference on stuff when you gotta stop like that. And when it takes 10 to 15 minutes to charge the battery and you're not even getting a full charge, dude, what is going on?
Agreed. I can definitely see from your point of view why it would be a pain also to have an electric car, but yeah, I can definitely see that too.
Well, that's only for if you're planning on taking any trips, or if you're only using it strictly to go to back and forth to work, then you just charge it when you get home, and you're good to go. And as long as you always charge it when you get home, then you're good. So like you're not gonna have any problems there, because you should always have a full battery. There should be no reason why I can't. You said like an hour drive back and forth.
Yeah.
So is that total, or is that one way?
One way.
So 2 hours in drive time, yeah, that's nothing. So like you should be good to go on that one. The biggest thing is it's gonna be is like traffic, if you got to worry about that. So like if traffic one day is a little bit higher than the others, but you still should be good to go. That shouldn't be a problem. So yeah, I mean, I would say like that's definitely worth your while. I don't know a lot on the hybrids. That's something I even considered, because one of my biggest fears about electric cars is like I live in Ohio, and so it can get really cold here. Last year it got into like sub 20 degrees, like negative 20 degrees here with all the wind chill and everything. So like that stuff can shut down whole units, or make it hard for that kind of stuff to like work properly, because we already have issues with like batteries and stuff like that in the cold. Like my car died, and I have a fairly brand new battery in that car, and I had to jump my car.
Damn.
Things. So like it does make a bit of a difference, having an electric car in like my area. If I'm running purely on nothing but an electric car, so I don't want to like completely go full electric in my area until I know like the systems and everything are like where they need to be at. Now, like depending on what part of California you're at, like you're in potentially at a completely different kind of situation than me. So like you could do that. And hybrids are something that's definitely an option that I would say definitely look into. But the biggest thing is as we already established, is like new cars are expensive. So especially anything hybrid or electric, like you're not going to end up with like a car that you're going to get like for like $20,000 to $30,000 most likely, unless you get it used, and like really used, or find it like, or get really lucky.
Oh no, I agree, and thank you for telling me all this as well. And no, you're right. I'm definitely going to look into all this and see if it's actually worth it in the long run to get a electric or hybrid. Basically, like I'm going to have to see if it's really worth it or not.
Yeah. I'm getting it. I mean, I would say electric car is definitely worthwhile. I mean, I personally want to get one eventually. But I wouldn't like make that your sole like vehicle. And the biggest reason why I want one is they can be fun to drive. I mean, you got power to the wheel and like flip a switch basically. And I drive a Mustang, so I obviously like some power.
Oh yeah, no, it makes complete sense. Like heck, my brother has a Tesla. I've driven it before. My God, that thing can go like pretty fast. Actually, if you actually put the power into it, that thing can go pretty fast.
Oh yeah. So
I was shocked, especially because of the. One other thing though, I definitely have to get used to about my brother's Tesla is how quiet the car is. Like I'm so used to hearing an engine in my car that the fact my brother's car is so quiet is like, what the heck? Look, I'm not used to it being like that quiet, if that makes sense.
All right.
Oh, welcome back, Ryan.
Dude, I love this game so much, man.
What, Diablo 4?
No, Final Fantasy 4. Diablo 4 is great.
Oh,
I'm loving Diablo 4.
Standard throughout. Oh my. Not on them. Don't ever go to Minnesota during the winter.
what happened there? What happened?
Minnesota.
I'm just reading the chat.
They're saying hybrid is better. Thanks, Randy. How you doing, Randy? How you been anyway?
Well,
Appreciate you hanging out in my streams, and at the same time, also I've seen you over on the Work the Game ones as well. So I always like seeing names. I'm like, you guys mean a lot to me.
Well, anyway, guys, I wanted to say it was great chatting with you all, but like I told Brian earlier, I have to go out with my family for a little bit. But I will be on the stream, Brian, for the Final Fantasy stream on Twitch or on YouTube. I will be on either or, and
I'll probably toss it up over on Twitch, because the nice thing about it, as opposed to this, because I guess I could have turned off Twitter and kept it up over on Twitch, regardless. But I'm gonna hear in about 45 minutes. We're gonna go have some family time and some dinner. And then I'll be back, and so that way we'll just hang out and just, dude, I'm so freaking excited.
You and me both, man.
Sounds good, Brian. So it'll be on Twitch, basically, is what you're saying?
Yeah, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Kick, all the places.
Sounds good. I'll catch you then. And also, if you're here in the Discord, if I'm home by the time Twitch starts, if you're in the stream starts, otherwise I'll watch it while I'm out.
Yeah, I'll be.
Home by the
I'll have Discord up, so that if anybody wants to come hang out just like now, we could all be talking about what we're seeing. And I need to make sure that I'm on the same feed as Yamron, so that way he's not like a minute ahead of me.
Yeah, no, I'm exhausted for whatever reason today.
Hey, it's Sunday, man. This is the day to be tired, dude.
So I'm probably gonna
agreed. It's a lazy day.
In like an hour and like go to bed after.
Ooh, perfect.
I do have work. I do have to wake up at 3 tomorrow.
Roger that.
Out.
Ryda just learned the spell Toad, and I just got turned into a Toad. That was the most perfect timing.
I remember that spell. Oh my god.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, what the heck did they even think of putting a spell like this in here?
Well, and then when they did that in 14, I was so thrilled, dude, because it was like, oh, heck yes. I was like, let's go.
At its best, right?
Yeah. I think they introduced that with Gilgamesh. And if that's what you just said, then I apologize because I didn't fully hear you. You're like, isn't it this? And I'm like, yeah, I think it's this. Oh wait, that's what you said.
No worries, guys. But like I said earlier, I'll catch you guys here later and on the stream. So have a great day, and I'll see you guys soon.
See you, dude.
Take it easy, dude.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Got that riff guitar going. So good. They did such a great job on these Pixel remasters.
Howdy, Brian.
Hey, what's up, Wes? How you doing, dude? Are you still available for Saturday's show?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up, bud? I don't know, buddy. Maybe Mikey knows?
Actually, I was really lucky when I got my truck.
Oh, yeah? What'd you get?
Well, I got my Ranger right before COVID hit.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like weeks
Before that
it
spike.
hit.
Yeah.
So if I were to buy it now, it'd be about $50,000 vehicle that normally would only be about $20,000 or $30,000.
Yeah. The inflation on vehicles has just been, like you're just like, whew. So I might actually Julie's mom, my mother-in-law, is talking about getting a new vehicle, and so we're talking about maybe buying her car, because she needs something that has a little bit lower for entry, and she's just got I forget what it is, a Nissan kind of hybrid van something, and then my brother he's got a nice truck, dude, like a nice truck, and so he's talking about getting a new truck here in 2 years, and I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just have this for 2 years and then save up the money and then buy his truck, because it's great, takes good care of it too, so it's like, oh good, I know somebody who's been doing the maintenance and taking care of it. 1 second, we got tears.
Have a little conflict downstairs, it sounds.
Nice thing is he's down south, so he doesn't have to deal with all the crazy weather that we've got up here in the north.
I'm in the same area.
Like, yeah, dude. The South is the best, man. I love living down here.
Well, my car is a Georgia Mustang, so when I got that car, it had no rust on it. Every other vehicle up here that's the same year, because it's a '98 Mustang.
Yeah, all that rust.
All
1 second.
This game have autoplay?
Yeah, dude. As a parent, this makes it great because I'm facilitating a couple of upset kids right now.
The original didn't have that, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just 1 second. Parent mode. And Randy's saying about 10.2 remaster on Steam. I didn't even know that existed, and no, I don't have that yet. So I'll have to get that fixed. If 10.2 is also on, I might just get all the Final Fantasy games on the PS5. Anyway, I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's what I have, is the 10 and 10.2 remaster on Steam. I got that from one of the Steam sales they had a few years back.
Well, 10.2 might be coming to Game Pass soon as well, since they're getting old Final Fantasy or Square Enix titles on Game Pass.
I just need to actually download 10 and 10.2. It's just kind of sitting on my Steam account. I haven't even touched it. I don't know. 10 was the first Final Fantasy I ever saw on screen, but it wasn't the first I played. And then it ended up being, I think, the third Final Fantasy that I played, maybe something like that. And I just ended up being extremely critical of that game. Like I liked a lot of like the battle system stuff, um, the skill tree and all of that. Like I think that game has one of the most like in-depth, um, skill trees and like all of Final Fantasy that I've played so far, outside of 12, because 12 is a completely different beast. Um, but like I like that one for that. But story-wise, I play Final Fantasy for the story, and I wasn't a fan because I had it on PlayStation 2, and it was just I never got to actually like finish it all the way. I got all the way down to the battle against, what is it, Jekt, I think is right there at the very end. And my PS2 ended up having problems. I just haven't gone back and replayed everything yet. I need to, because I actually want to play 10-2. I got like maybe 30 minutes in the 10-2 before my PS2 had problems. I really should do what Mr. Happy's doing and do like a Final Fantasy kind of like count up thing and go replay all the.
Yeah, I've
the
seen him.
old Final
He
Fantasy.
does that. Like he did that for 15 as well. I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah. I haven't played all the Final Fantasy games, and I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, so it's like part of why I got into writing was because of Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. Like I think Square has a phenomenal writing team for all of their games, in my opinion. I don't think anything tops what they have.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's some other good story games out there that I've played. I mean, Ace Combat series, which those are weird, but they have a pretty
Ace Combat, yeah.
I was mad that they didn't give you the combo for the most recent one. I can't remember, is it 5 or 6, what it is, and give you the Xbox version of that one Ace Combat game.
Yeah.
We'll make that as like an option, because I've been trying to like replay all of them.
Hey, welcome in, Shira. Hey, Shira, drop the link to like your channel or video or something like that. So, for those of you who don't follow Shira, she has been making content, and yeah, I think doing a great job at it. So, anyway, drop your share. Thanks for coming in and saying hi. Sorry, you were saying, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just jumping in on some of the chat stuff.
I was just rereading the chat too. But yeah, I mean, it's the whole game series is just phenomenal. And then there's also the Devil May Cry game series, which I'm very, very familiar with that. Both DMC and DMC, or Devil May Cry, 5, I guess is the most recent one, or is it 6?
I don't know. Like, I never got big into the Devil May Cry series.
They're a different series. The big thing is if you like just beating up on things and massive combos and just awesome skills. Like, it's a very like fluffy kind of game, if that makes any sense. Like, there's not like you've got a cool story, but the gameplay is so different.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
It's not even like a Souls kind of game, but it's almost like that kind of idea where, like, in a Souls game, you've got to avoid every hit as much as you possibly can, otherwise you're gonna die. In a Devil May Cry game, like, it's the same idea. Otherwise, again, you're probably gonna die, because you can only take so many hits, and they hit hard in some of those games, especially as you get to some of the harder levels. Like, it can be an interesting one.
What is going on, guys?
Hey, what's up, Red? Hold on. Yeah, absolutely. Share, like, guys, promote yourself. If you're making content, if you're doing stuff, like it, like
Dad, call mom.
I want people to share what they're doing. What's up? Call mom.
Yeah, even though she's just.
Okay, 1 second. I got to call mom.
Call mom, code red, save
How you guys doing?
How's it going?
It's all right.
But, yeah. Oh yeah, I'll be sharing my stuff here as soon as I get everything going. I'll have basically 2 channels. I'm gonna do a double channel,
Smart.
one for gaming and one for political talk.
Yes, that's the way to go. Like, segment out, like, even in terms of certain games, like, it's like, okay, it is healthy to have those different avenues. It takes a lot more work up front, but after the fact, it's just it's so much more joyful to, like, oh, I want to talk about this, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna put it over here where people who want that will find it. You know.
Well,
yeah, I do a gaming and photography blog.
Nice.
Well, see, I like talking about games. I play quite a few, but especially when it comes to like Final Fantasy of any sort, Kingdom Hearts, of either one of them. Like I like talking about them, and like 14, because I've been around for so long. There's so many opinions about this game for every little bit of content. Like, I want to sit down and talk about it. I could probably talk about some different portion of the content in 14 for all day, probably.
Yeah.
Just because of how long I've been here, and there's so many different things I've tried. There's other things I haven't done, but there's a lot of things I have done in the game, and I can have a very good discussion with that for a good portion. Some people from my previous static that I was part of with my FC, like we could sit there and talk for like 3 to 4 hours after raid. We got done with raid at 10 o'clock or 10 p.m. EST our time.
Nice.
So like it would just be talking about things we disliked or liked or whatever, and like, yeah, like there's a lot to be able to talk about. So I want to talk about games, but I'm also a big political person as well, especially with everything that's going on right now. Like, I want the avenues to be able to talk about that stuff, and I don't really have anybody like in my family or friends or anything I can really talk to. Or the people that I do have to talk to, it's almost like an echo chamber, and I hate talking in an echo chamber.
Online it is so easy to segment ourselves into echo chambers because it's just a click into here's the thing you want to hear, you know. And it's so easy. Like, it's like, oh, I just want to, and then the algorithms are like, oh, they like this, they're gonna watch this, and then it's like, you know, you end up just going like, oh yeah, my side, nothing wrong with it. The other side's evil. It's like, no, I think a lot of the anger is manufactured, but that's my personal take on it.
I had to get all that stuff off my streams when people start talking about it, just because we'll talk about that offline.
See, that's the thing, though. Like, I get it, and it's like it's the right call but like in a voice call, or like people are like, you shouldn't discuss religion and politics, and it's like, gosh, like, not like, I mean, in the YouTube space and because of gaming space, totally get it. Like, that's, people are just like, I'm just here to game. Especially gaming tends to be like, I just want to escape all that. I get that everywhere else, right? Like, I just want to just like hang out, play a game, and not have to think about that stuff. But then, like, in the real world, like, no, I think it's important that we keep talking and asking questions and learning and stuff like that. I don't believe in that level of censorship in the right spaces, the right context. But I do agree with it in terms of gaming, because like I'm not looking. I mean, and who knows? Everybody could be different. But like in my case, I'm not looking for a game to sit here and, you know, like, we got to stop and have a political discussion every 5 minutes. It's like, I just want to play. I get that enough. Like, Julie and I, we talk about everything going on. Like, yeah, like as people should. You need to be, you know, conversation is good. But Julie did say that, asked me to go ahead and wrap up because she needs my help, and I've been kind of clearly you kind of see sometimes that things slowly start to devolve and the best laid plans. So my plan hopefully will be, especially before up to maybe I'll be able to get some more streams in of Final Fantasy IV, but I will be live back again tonight in roughly 2 hours. for a pre-16, and then we're going to watch the 16 keynote, and we're going to stick around with Yoshi P and the 16 team for the event tonight for as long as that's going on. And up to the point where like I'll need to go to bed at some point, and hopefully we get a demo announcement. But guys, thanks so much for joining me in voice. Just kind of set like this should the stream should technically rate us into the waiting room for the next one, and then we'll be live again everywhere here in about 2.5 hours. If you want to come hang out in voice, if you got a good mic like these guys, like anybody's welcome to come hang out. We can all be like, oh my gosh, and freaking out and stuff together. But I'll leave that up to you guys of what you want to do. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this all. And I will see you guys here roughly in about 2 hours. And yeah, thanks, dudes. Hopefully I'll see you all back here at that end, you know, in a little bit. So I'm going to dip out, and peace. All right, let's see here. And then I'm going to hit end the broadcast. And I believe that takes care of it. So love you guys.